Welcome back and happy Friday. You just never know what you're going to see here, and today is certainly no different in that respect. Be sure to stick around to the end because I have an announcement. Meanwhile, grab your favorite cuppa, sit back, and let's see what we have today. Hi there, and welcome to This Day in History for June 27th. June 27th is the 178th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 179th in leap years, with 187 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is horse latitudes. Horse latitudes is a noun meaning either of the two belts around the latitudes 30 to 35 degrees north or south, marked by high pressure and light variable winds. Sound like a meteorologist. The source of this term is of uncertain origin. There's a story, not very convincing, that when stuck in a region of calm with little wind to get them across, sailors would throw their cargo of horses overboard to save on rations and lighten the load. Another conjecture is that the term might be derived from a Spanish term, Golfo de las Yeguas, which literally means mare's gulf, perhaps alluding to the unpredictable nature of mares. The notion that makes the most sense to me, though, is the one that suggests that in calm waters, when sails had become ineffective, no wind blowing, if a ship's captain could find it, current going in the direction he wished to go, he could ride that current. And it was said to be like riding a horse. The wind might not take you, but the current could, and like riding a horse, in the horse latitudes. Wherever the term actually came from, first known use of the term horse latitudes is about 1777. Horse latitudes. And with that, this is the birthday of German weapon designer, manufacturer, industrialist, and politician, Peter Paul von Mauser, born June 27, 1835. Together with his brother Wilhelm, they designed the Mauser Model 871 rifle, the first of a successful line of Mauser rifles and pistols. Highly prized by collectors, by the way, he made a significant improvement to the design of bolt-action rifles and also worked on pistols. Paul Mauser lived to the age of 75. This is the birthday of Helen Keller, born June 27, 1880. Born a perfectly normal, healthy child, she contracted a disease at the age of about 19 months, most likely either scarlet fever or meningitis. This left her deaf and blind. Her parents' attempt to get help for Helen eventually led them to the introduction of Anne Sullivan. The rest, as they say, is history. Helen Keller's life has been depicted with some fictional license in plays and movies. There are a couple of versions of the movie The Miracle Worker, and also some actual video of Helen Keller herself. Helen Keller lived to the age of 87. This is the birthday of American actor and producer Bob Keeshan, better known to people of a certain age as Captain Kangaroo. He was born June 27, 1927, and I could tell you I sure watched me some Captain Kangaroo when I was a little girl. One of my fondest memories is of Mr. Moose and the ping pong balls. What a trickster. Bob Keeshan lived to the age of 76. Today's song is A World Without Love by Peter and Gordon. This song was written by Paul McCartney when he was 16 years old. 5 years later, in 1963, he was sharing a room with his girlfriend's brother, Peter Asher. Peter and his friend, Gordon Waller, had signed a recording contract as Peter and Gordon, and Peter asked Paul if they could record A World Without Love. Paul and John felt that the song wasn't a good fit for the Beatles, so why not? The song was never released by the Beatles, although Paul did do a demo recording of it somewhere along the way. Peter and Gordon's version was released in February of 1964, hit number 1 on June 27, 1964. Nice harmonies, those two. A World Without Love by Peter and Gordon. Link in the description. How about that? I'll be back with that big announcement right after the quote of the day. But first, I want to say that on the days where we talk more about birthdays than events, I have to remember that the people whose birthday it is and the things they did and the events of their lives all shaped and changed history as we know it. So, no apologies for those birthdays. That said, when Mr. B and I watch the day's episodes, he often has something to say. And the other day when we had that quote from T.S. Eliot, he said, "I demand equal time for Ezra Pound." So today's quote is from Ezra Pound. I've made sure to add him to the little calendar book, which is in the other part of the room there, so that we can talk about him later in the year when his birthday rolls around. Today's quote, though, is, "Genius is the capacity to see 10 things where the ordinary man sees one." Ezra Pound. Alrighty, now for the big announcement. I finally did it. I made a Patreon creator account. First of all, anyone can join for free. Just go over and create yourself a member account and join up for free if you want to. I'd sure love to see you over there. I'm still learning how it all works, and for the time being, I'll be posting the links to the videos that I publish along with the quote graphics, the images for the quotes that you see at the end of the videos. Other than that, we can decide together with your input what extra kinds of things you'd like to see on Patreon, so go check it out, Vicki Bowers on Patreon, and of course, there is a link in the description. Remember, we'll have reruns over the weekend, but I'll add quotes to them, and we'll have a fresh new episode on Monday. Until then, y'all take care, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time. Now we look for the thank you very much button. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoyed this series, you can check out the playlists in the description. You can find me on BitChute, Facebook, Odyssey, Rumble, YouTube, and X, as well as on a blog page called No Really. All those links are in the description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.